A lot of matches happened on this show, so let's get to it. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Dark, and look, I understand because they recorded this before Rampage, and Rampage is only an hour-long show, they felt that they needed to give the paying audience the paid arena prices. Even in the nosebleeds, they felt they needed to give them a landmark show, so they had a nearly 2-hour edition of AEW Dark on tap. Look, I understand. I get why. They got some good hometown pops because they featured some local talents, and some of the matches actually served a purpose. There were some good squashes. We got to see a women's six-woman tag that actually turned out to be pretty damn good. But seriously, they're oversaturating the fucking thing. It's fucking ridiculous. No YouTube show for AEW or anything should run longer than an episode of Dynamite. And it also shouldn't be almost twice as long as Rampage. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. That being said, there was some good. There was also some stuff they could have cut, or what they could have done is split this. 7 or 8 matches on this, and then 7 or 8 matches, whatever number they decided to split up, and just have it after Rampage later this week, because that way they could tie everything in, to AEW Full Gear on Saturday. Anyway, let's get right to it. 15 matches, and honest to God, I think they could have done with just 10. So, Excalibur and Taz on commentary. Gun Club versus Uno, Reynolds, and Colt Boom Boom Cabana. There is not a way on this goddamn earth I am going to care about a match involving these guys. All due respect to them. They're talents. They can work. It's cool that Billy is teaming with his kids. I don't really care about the Dark Order, but I get why the group is sticking around. They have fans. We have Colt versus Billy. It's the real Billy Gunn curse, if you will. If you'll see what I did there, he did the suck it thing, because apparently Billy Gunn never got past 1999. And we get a melee and a roll-up with the ropes by Awesome 1, 2, 3. There we go. Riho took on Heidi Howitzer, who I have seen pictures of and seen clips of. Didn't get to see, a full match. And I'm still waiting to see a full match, because even though she used some power, she said, I'm really good at sports and wrestling. She has a great look. I will say that. Riho beats her quickly with a diving stomp. Alright. So, Nick Comoroto and Aaron Solo took on Too Fast, Too Fuego, which obviously Fuego Dos, whatever, is Cody with, the neck tattoo covered up. Maybe if you didn't get that stupid neck tattoo, you motherfucking idiot, you wouldn't have to worry about that. You could have put it on your chest. You could have put it on your arm. Why the neck tattoo? It's like Mike Tyson's face tattoo, even though I would never tell Mike Tyson that it was a stupid idea, but goddamn, neck tattoos are really fucking stupid. At least ones like that. It's hideous. So anyway, obviously that's Cody. It's obvious. And they kept referencing that. And they were trying to make it like, what was it, Midnight Rider or whatever. Cody's doing his own Midnight Rider, except the Midnight Rider actually drew money and actually made sense the first couple times. And then they tried to bring it back at one point and it didn't fucking work. And the whole mask thing, Stagger Lee, going back to what JYD did when he lost the Loser Leave Town thing, and then he came back and he teamed up with Bill Watts and was part of the Last Stampede thing. And look, the whole thing, the mask gimmick, it works, but Cody didn't have to leave town. I understand he's doing this for fun. So, Del Sol got tossed around a whole bunch, and I don't know why this went so long. We got DDT on Comoroto, and then the Tornado DDT. He did the deal. 1, 2, 3. Okay, fine. I'm not against fun. I just think that Comoroto has something. Aaron Solo is pretty much going to be the D-Lo of any group that he's in, where he's a fine talent, but he can get beaten, and it doesn't take any steam off the group, even though you have a group that is headed by QT Marshall, so already you got your knees cut right down there. Hell, you don't have your legs cut out from under you. You have your knees. You have everything. It's like Hank Hill's dad with no goddamn legs, because he had no fucking shins. Anyway, enough of that. Look, the match was fine. Sammy Guevara, and Jake Hager taking on Coco Lane and Luke Langley. They sound like country stars. I mean, I'm not against, nothing against these guys. I like Sammy. He did what he could. Hager's boring. Can't do anything. Sent on for 3. Hopefully these enhancement talents can maybe be featured on some of the Universal tapings or for future AEW tapings in the whatever. Maybe they could be featured with a tag team that I actually give a shit about, because, again, outside of Sammy, I don't really care about Hager. So, Santana Ortiz run down, by the way, after Sky and Ethan attack, because we need an aftermath. This was not the only match with a fucking aftermath. I get it. Dark Elevation was 47 minutes and was nice, digestible, and everything. And this, they were trying to get a whole bunch of storylines in. You know how you do that? You just put a couple of these storylines on Dark Elevation. Hell, you could have made Dark Elevation like 75, 80 minutes at the most, and you could have cut this down, and it would have been fine. You just could have shifted some of the matches around. I know they taped them in 2 locations. They taped AEW Dark Elevation before Dynamite, and then taped this before Rampage. But whatever. Santana Ortiz run down, we get an aftermath, whatever. Been there, done that, the aftermath. So we get best Utah alien friends, aka Wheeler Utah, Chuck Taylor, and Orange Cassidy, with Chris Statlander, who didn't put on pants for this. I approve of that. It's an alien no pants party, I guess. That makes sense. So they took on Darian Bankston, Banks, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, Davey Vega, and Camaro Jackson. Canyonero? You didn't ask, it just took it. Oh boy, way too many people on this roster is what I wrote down. I'm all for giving people a job, but when some of these contracts run out, if they're, and Tony Khan's honoring them, when some of these contracts run out, they gotta just let some people go somewhere else, whatever, because they gotta trim things down. They can bring in new talent, you gotta freshen things up. How can we miss you if you won't go away? Awful Blue Waffle, which probably would have been more appealing than some of the moves in this match. Cassidy covers 1, 2, 3. Got to give the people what they want. And then Kazarian tooks on. That's how you do it. It's like Toots Mont, except Toots on. That's how that works. So it's Kazarian taking on Dante Martin with Lio Rush. I'm just going to say right now, even though Lio is talented and he has some charisma as far as on the mic, I don't care about Lio Rush. I don't. Dante Martin's a fucking star. Kazarian, met him at an indie show almost 3 years ago. My God, where has the time gone? Kazarian's a great talent. He's been a great talent since he showed up in NWA TNA television and has been great in Ring of Honor and in AEW. And you guessed it, Frankie Kazarian. I like how they put that as an intro. That's good shit. Here's my question. While I'm all for giving the Dark and Dark Elevation tapings a little bit of pizzazz, how is this not on Rampage? Sorry, how is this not on a Friday night show? This would have been exciting. This would have been cool. It would have been a veteran versus a young talent. The right ingredients were there. And you could have showcased Dante Martin. Could have had on Dynamite. I mean, just was what it was. What they basically... It was good. Dante is really fucking good. Kazarian's a great veteran. And then we get the double jump moonsault, 1, 2, 3. And then Kazarian's like, hey, Lio Rush interfered. And you got to watch what he does. You got to watch him. Watch him. Watch what he does. I'm watching you. No, he didn't do that, but it would have been funny. So anyway, we get Kazarian and Dante Martin having a pretty good match that, again, should have been featured on a bigger platform. Now, we get to Thunder Rosa, Ryo Mizunami, and Chris Statlander taking on Emi Sakura, Jamie Hayter, Rebel, with Lulu Pencil, Legend, whatever, and Mei Suruga. I want to say right now, Thunder Rosa, my favorite wrestler in the world, period. It's been my favorite wrestler for this whole goddamn year. She's been one of my favorite wrestlers for the last number of years. She's been on another level here. Statlander has really improved since coming back from her injury. Ryo Mizunami, I don't really get. I don't get. Nothing against her personally, but her gimmick, whatever, she's just kind of there. Emi, same thing. Jamie Hayter, my fucking goodness, she's got a star quality about her. And Rebel is good as a manager/wrestler. Mei Suruga, I don't really get why she's in the... I mean, I believe she was trained by Emi, but she's just suddenly there. No video package, no nothing. I love me some Thunder Rosa. And Mei Suruga has a good look, could possibly be beneficial to the AEW women's division, you know, building her up a little bit. And Thunder Rosa was pissed off at Rebel and slapped her right in the boobies. That was good stuff. I need to get another Thunder Rosa t-shirt, which I will be doing at some point, by the way. This is a really great shirt. And Statlander got tossed in. We got a melee. We got a bunch of action. We got Ryo doing her usual comedy. And then we got Statlander being tossed by Rebel right into the goddamn corner. Pretty impressive strength by Rebel. But Rebel forgot, oh yes, Thunder Rosa's here. Fire Thunder Driver. Boom! 1, 2, 3. And there you go. So we get a melee afterwards because, of course, we fucking do. An aftermath. We get May with the scepter and then Destination Unknown. Ruby with a pipe. Okay, it doesn't quite work. She's going to hit, and oh no, everybody got out of the way. She almost hit Statlander. No! Aliens are weakened to pipes, like they were weakened to the common cold in War of the Worlds. I should retro review the original War of the Worlds. Not the Tom Cruise version. That was shit. You did that Ruby and Statlander. Can they get along? Whose side is she on? Whose side is anybody on? Who the fuck knows? Ruby versus Statlander should be pretty good. I don't exactly know, though, if one of them is going to turn heel. Could we get Destination Unknown, heel, Ruby Soho? Could we get an evil alien? And Thunder Rosa, more Thunder Rosa on AEW programming, please. I know she works with Mission Pro Wrestling and is going to face Kylan King, I believe, here in a bit. In a few days. I don't remember the exact date. Sorry, got a lot of shit in my head. But I remember seeing the advertisement. Any opportunity there is to see Thunder Rosa on your television, take it. She's really fucking good. So, Matt Sydal and Lee Moriarty took on 2.0. Huge pop for Matt. He's a hometown guy, and Lee is very, very good. 2.0 make the most of their television time, whether it's on YouTube or on AEW Dynamite or Rampage. And Lightning Spiral, 1, 2, 3. All right. It wasn't bad, and Lee got beat up a bit, and then the veteran got the victory. Dante and Leo show up to congratulate them, and Dante's looking like, why is this small child with me? Wait, that was just me thinking what Dante should say if I was Dante Martin. And if I was Dante Martin, my fucking goodness, I would be so happy with all the money I could make with the great athleticism that I have. Seriously, the guy's fucking good. He's really good. Nyla Rose beat Tootie Lynn really quickly. I mean, really quickly. Gloms her. And does that top rope knee drop. Beautifully done. Great shit. If Nyla can use that as a secondary finisher besides the Beast Bomb, they feature her right. I'll tell you right now, Nyla Rose ever shows up at, or is ever advertised for an indie promotion that I frequent, I will absolutely shake her hand and, meet and greet, whatever, because Nyla Rose is really good, and I just wish they feature her like a monster more like they have here. So, Andrade took on Warhorse. Now, if you remember Warhorse, 1, he rules ass. 2, he also was part of the Open Challenge series that Cody Rhodes did when he was TNT champion during the pandemic. I'm confused why they brought Warhorse in just for Andrade to beat him. Because Warhorse, I mean, however you feel about him, he's got enough of a name on the indies, you're just going to have Andrade beat him quickly? Bit odd that. Yeah, he beats him with a hammerlock DDT in 2 minutes, maybe. And they did some comedy with G.I. Jose, whatever his name. Jose something or other? What is his name? I know his name's Jose something. Anyway, Starks and Hobbs with Hook took on 5 and 10 of the Dark Order. Oh boy, more. Alan 5 Angels is good. 10 is good. Hook just exists with that hair that he has. Who am I to comment on someone's hair? Starks is really good. Good to see him wrestle. And we also had Hobbs. This was also really awkward. And even though 10 did some good stuff, it got really awkward at the end. And we got the slam and Starks covering 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hook! So, Ty Conte beat Miranda Gordy really quickly. You can definitely tell that Miranda Gordy is Terry Bam Bam Gordy's daughter. She's got the same stature as him. If she's got half the ability he did in his prime, she's going to make a lot of money. So anyway, yeah, but that was really quick. I think it was like 30 seconds a minute. And then Wardlow beats a guy named Ryan Mantell, not to be confused with, Ken Mantell. Hopefully not. And Squash, Casualty of War for the victory. That's it. Darby took on QT Marshall. QT Marshall got mic time. I don't understand why. And also says he's friends with MJF. He's going to take Darby out of Full Gear. Best of luck with that. Darby wins with the coffin drop. I also don't know why this was so competitive. It's nothing against QT as a person. He should not be in competitive matches, especially with somebody that's going to be in a pay-per-view match, in a pretty big pay-per-view match. Something that people are looking forward to in just a few days. Also, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. The only Cage really that matters on this goddamn thing. Just like Hangman Page is the only Page that matters on this god. Too many pages, too many cages, too many of just people, human centipede together and whatever. They took on Matt Hardy, Isaiah Cassidy, and the Blade. I am glad the Blade seems to be doing well as far as dealing with depression, anxiety, and everything. He seems to be doing good. I don't care about the Matt Hardy family orifice thing. I don't care. Jungle Boy eventually taps out the Blade with the snare trap. Match is fine. That's really all I can do as far as covering 15 matches in under 15 minutes. Why? Because, again, some of them didn't really... I appreciate the efforts. I do. I'm glad they're giving the enhancement talents a payoff and everything. That's good. That's really good. And you get them exposure. Maybe some people will say, hey, we'd like to see more of these people and they could get signed. It worked during the pandemic. That's great. There is such a thing as oversaturation. I really hope they don't do another episode of Dark that they broadcast, say, right after Rampage, or, the morning of Full Gear. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.